Hey guys, so before we left, I decided I'm going to study some TEFL as a good way to get a bit of possible experience and something else to do, get away from the 9 to 5. And while we were here, we bumped into KT, story of KT. Check it out. We've got some questions for him. He's been doing it for almost 5 years, I think. Check this out.
Hey Kev, Roxy here. So, do you think Vietnam is still a good option for foreigners coming to teach?
Maybe, because over the last 2 years, salaries, really over the last 4 years, salaries have been cut 4 to 5 times. So the good old days are finished. They're over. You don't do this job for money. Yeah, it helps out. And it does pay your bills. So if you have a foreigner salary, it does pay your bills. So do you come here? You want to teach? Yeah, of course it does. But the good old days are finished. So if it's a good idea, it really just depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for more of, I want relaxation. I want to get away from the 9 to 5. I want to get away from that rat race of the West. Or wherever you're from. Um, then go for it. Go for it because you'll have a peace of mind for sure in Vietnam for sure.
So, these South Africans that are looking at these opportunities, they're young graduates, they're 22, they're 23, and they're facing limited opportunities. So, with that in mind, would you say that a young, inexperienced teacher coming in, can they still pay their bills?
Yeah, for sure. They can definitely pay their bills because, like I said previously, like there's still an opportunity out here. If you are a teacher and you hold a teaching degree, so you can get a job in an international school that pays really well and you have really good benefits, right? But if you have a degree or a degree that has art degree, anything outside of that, then you're gonna be like the rest of us, and it's okay. You can, like I said, you still can pay your bills. It's still a really good opportunity, because Vietnam's people really need English, right? They're literally on the cusp of changing the law to where they can have English as their primary, secondary language. So it'll be like Vietnamese, then English, and once they do that, then the boom will come again, right?
So, what does a typical teaching day look like to you? Do you work long hours? Is it balanced?
Yeah, so typically a teaching day for me is different because right now I work from 8:30 to 4:30 as an IELTS teacher, IELTS teacher. So it's their English proficiency exam that they have to take abroad, right? So we teach them that 40 hours, of course, but I was working as an English teacher, a regular English teacher, and I would work in the evenings. So that looked like I had my whole day to do whatever I wanted. Or what expats usually do is they work in public school during the day, and that's 3 hours, 2 hours, because your classes are like 45 minutes each, or they're like 1 hour each, right? So in the evening, then I would work English center. So I would work from 5:30 to 9:30 every evening. So, and that was like 6 days a week. So most teachers actually work more because they can get double salary. So if you're making or 2 to 3 thousand on just two jobs, you're doing all right for
Okay.
sure.
We're going to drop some links in the description, but quick few things that you definitely need.
Sure. So you need a bachelor's degree, you need a TEFL or a TESOL, a certificate, and that's basically it, really. Yeah, that's it.
And students that have studied teaching as a degree definitely have a good advantage.
Oh, sure, because like I said, you can get, if you're a teacher, a real teacher, you can get into the really, really, really good schools. And depending on, see, Vietnam, they base it basically on your passport. So, like, if you are a teacher from the West, you're generally going to be preferred in their candidacy because you come from the West. Yeah, there's caveats to that as well. If for example you are a white Westerner, you will definitely get more privilege and be selected more than someone who's like brown skin from the West. But that's kind of changing as well, you know, because there are a lot of like non-native speaking countries teachers that are coming in, and like the Philippines, even though one of their primary languages is English. You know, Vietnam has been changing over the last 4 to 5 years, and so, but still, if you are white from the West, then you'll be more of a priority because they want to show the Vietnamese people that they have a Westerner. You know what I mean? So it's kind of disgusting, but it's also something that you have to deal with as a brown person.
Yeah.
You know.
Kind of asking this for myself too. Is South Africa the West?
To be honest, they don't consider South Africa as part of the West. They don't consider South Africans native speakers of English. So it's weird. Even though, am I right or wrong, you guys speak English.
Yes.
And you guys are considered native, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Uh, how has this journey changed your life?
So, yeah, this has completely opened up my whole universe, you know? Um, example, I have peace. I'm away from the rat race. I'm doing a different rat race now, you know, but it's something that I actually want to do, you know, not something that I have to do, you know. And so, man, it's giving me a peace of mind. And if you know what I mean by that, it's like I have my life back, you know. Like back home, I have a business, and I'm always on the constant grind of like, let's get this money, let's get this money, let's get that, let's get this, right? But here or in Vietnam, I don't have to be that way. You know, I can be an employee. I can clock in, clock out. They're pretty flexible over there, and so I need that flexibility in my life. You know, that's what I needed. You know, even though I didn't, you know, I have commitments and stuff. Like I'm getting married to a Vietnamese girl. We've been dating for 3 years, and so yeah, man. I mean, it's you do the things that you want to do. That's the biggest thing I can say. It's changed my life. Yeah, the money could be better. I'll say that. You know what I mean? It could always be better. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's given me the biggest thing, my life back for sure.
Do you want to let us know where to go check out some more videos?
Yeah, so if you're interested, go check out the story of KT. I've been on this YouTube journey as well for about a year, since December 2023. And so, yeah, this journey has been amazing, really. And so, whatever your hang up is, whether it's money, whether it's I'm in a bad relationship, good relationship, whatever, just do what you want to do. And I promise you, you're going to find your tribe. You're going to find your people, you know? You're not alone, man. We're all out here trying to do something together, you know what I mean? And that's what traveling has done for me is it's really shown me my tribe, you know what I mean?
Basically, we've got a South African saying for that, and it says, "Dollar what you must." So do your thing, get started. That's becoming a YouTuber, a TikToker, traveling the world, or moving to another country to teach English.
Thank you very much, Katie.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. Love it, buddy. You guys are great.